You didn't see John Ryan out there any,
Mm-mm,
okay. He,
haven't heard from him. Call to order.
oh, there's John.
Hey, all right.
Okay.
It is 4 o'clock. We're gonna call to order this meeting of the Economic Vitality Subcommittee. We've got Linda DiPaolo on the call. And John Ryan may be joining us later.
Yeah, he's there. He's just not showing up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, he's joining. He's working on it.
The minutes are in front of us. Now's the time to add anything, or we can move to accept them as presented.
I move to accept them.
Second. All right, the minutes are open. Thank you. So last week, don't think we have much hanging to deal with.
I've got the January 29th. So the event on the 29th. I wanted to kind of talk through that.
Okay.
So I sent this out to everybody and I was trying to get a registration link ready today and I just didn't quite get it. So I'll get that out tomorrow. So I think some y'all been a part of some of these talks. So what we're trying to do is basically kind of like an annual meeting that's like a downtown business breakfast that I'd like to try to do annually. That just kind of is a good way of doing an overview of the things that like we do, just like how we were just talking about before, of like people who don't come to the meetings aren't always in the know. We won't go into, extensive detail, but a little bit of overview because we've got a lot of new businesses. And also I wanted it to be a panel of a few of our board or committee members to kind of talk about what's worked for them as successful businesses. So it's more of like a business to business talk rather than like me up there talking about except that I'm not a business owner, so I'm not the one that can share that opinion as much. So I've got like a tentative schedule for it. And so just wanted to, before I publish that tomorrow, just talk through, it's on like the second page after the minutes. I've already got that date kind of locked in, but just wanted to see if there was any thoughts on that. And then also any particular suggestions on people that we want to speak with it from the board or other.
Thursday is good for me. I'll be available.
Be there.
Okay. Be on the panel.
So if Aaron was on the panel, then that would be, so that'd be like a food and beverage / 7th Avenue. I think a retail would be good.
Looking
not
at
a
me.
maybe, or if there's any others that people kind of suggest, because one thing, and Jenny and I have talked about this. This is particularly a problem in Main Street. Are the hours of businesses during Christmas time?
If you could CC Caroline, I bet she might.
Yeah, if she's available, I'll ask her too. But I think because the Emporium was open late during all of our holiday events, they'd be able to have the numbers to like show that it is worth your time to be open.
Yeah.
2 extra hours, 2 hours extra on 3 days of the year.
I can bring a report that shows by hour what we made.
That might,
Yeah,
Oliver would do it too.
yeah.
he might not. He's
Might be working that day.
yeah, he may or may not. But so we'd have Aaron, Jenny, retail. And then, so we can ask the board next week unless there's anybody else of any other type of areas, anybody feels like we're missing as far as, I think like a 3 3-person is probably good. Um,
What about the mini bakery?
Yeah, Stacy, she's active.
And
in
then,
fact, she's gonna do food at it too.
yeah,
She'll already be there.
and your business is so different. No?
Well, it doesn't, I mean, we're very unique
Uh-huh.
and it really doesn't bring any exciting information to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I'm trying to remember back from when we brought up the board, it was either Mark or Joe had mentioned that they would be interested. I think Joe might be a good one because brewery
It would be,
and he's on the TDA board too, so Joe would probably be a good. I'm pretty sure he already said he could. So we got,
Wow,
yeah, sorry.
I love saying that name.
So we'd have representatives from retail, so 2 Main Street businesses with retail, brewery, and then 2 7th Avenue restaurant, bakery, basically. If Stacy would do it, which I know she's gonna be there, so I think that would probably be pretty.
Wags was open too during those holiday events.
Yeah, if she decides she wants to, I'll have it open for her. She usually travels.
Twister.
No expectations
Yeah,
that she would.
yeah, she would, yeah. Maybe she could be the,
Someone paid her.
She could be the MC.
she would actually
Moderator.
Yeah.
do a pretty good job at that. Yeah, moderator, that was the word I was looking for. So, yeah, I'll ask Caroline or Matthew. Matthew might have a trouble getting there. So basically what I would see is the day would start out as, a brief update from like me of who we are, what we do as a downtown department. And then I've already talked to the TDA chamber, Love and Respect with Unhoused Resources and Small Business Center, just to have them there to be able to give a brief update, but then there to be able to talk to people. Cause I just want people to hear what the things are for them. Yeah.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the operations center because that was the place I could figure out that had the most seating, that already have sound available for it, and mini batch will do the food.
It'd be nice if we had a follow-up, like if you have ongoing questions, contact so-and-so,
Mhm.
something like that would be good.
Yeah, and also to let people know that, these boards and committees meet every month
Mhm.
as an option, like for information. It's just, sometimes we get businesses that just open without really knowing or not talking to anybody on anything. Sometimes we get some that are real active. And so I figured just kind of getting in front of their faces and might hopefully get a good attendance for that. Anything else on that?
I think that looks good. Sounds like a plan.
I added one thing to the agenda that was not what I sent out, about parking kiosk update. So for our kiosks on Main Street, we've done an audit of the, maintenance of them because we've had, mechanical problems since they've started. And so, with that audit, and we've been working with the parking contractors or the service provider for them. We're working through some resolutions on some of those. And one of the biggest problems mechanically with the kiosks, and the reason why the ones that have been down are the cash and coin. The dollar accepting and the coin accepting are what breaks more than anything else. And the revenue that's brought in for cash and coin is I think it's 5% of the meters for the year. They were put in with cash and coin because of our population. As there's some people who don't use
I know.
cards,
You didn't have to tell me.
don't use cards or the app. But it's, is the juice worth the squeeze if they aren't even working? And if that's one of the biggest problems for it. So they're gonna be taking that to, city council, over the next probably month or so, just to get their thoughts on it. But I wanted to see if there was any strongly held opinions. Phil said, cut it.
Right.
Does anybody have any strongly held opinion that we need to have cash and coin that breaks regularly?
Can be for when people complain about not having it. But like you said, it's gonna be 5% of everybody that might complain.
It's,
Half of those
Yeah.
people will complain.
yeah, it's such a small amount because they're not even,
It's 5% usage and less than 5% will complain, and that will go away faster than the
Yeah.
parking.
yeah. There are a few other things that we're looking at doing, and I think that this will go council as for some opinions too. Because the other big issue that I feel like is kind of a more consistent issue, and I've had some issue with this too, is the handicap parking spaces are difficult for people to use. Because, well, I mean, they're the kiosks or Park Mobile, but people who are having difficult mobility have difficult ability to use the kiosks and or the app or anything. And so what we had gone to a parking conference back in the fall, and I had asked some other cities what they had done if they had paid parking on handicap spaces, and they all have meter heads for handicap spaces. And so one thing that we're going to be looking at in these negotiations with them is because all of our handicap parking spaces are 2 at a time on Main Street. So like they're all in pairs of 2. So one thing that we're looking at is just for the handicap spaces of doing meter heads, that would be like left side, right side.
But those have cash and coin,
They would probably have coin,
Yeah.
but not,
something.
yeah, because like that has been one of the handicap parking to be paid has been a complaint, but also just that people who are using handicap parking spaces
Are the ones
who are just is so confused on how to use it,
Right.
do
You
it,
did apply for
all of it.
Is it a space thing?
like a little pass or something?
The cost for a pass for like if we,
Minimal, blah, blah, yeah.
yeah, it would be an astronomical cost if we did an on-street parking pass. But that's what we're looking at for that, because it would just be a much simpler use for those handicap spaces. But I'm not sure how close we are to looking into that. That kind of goes with the negotiations with folks.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
This is still a half step back and perhaps too fine a point on the cash thing. Is the problem with the dollars or the cents?
Both.
Is it both?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we had gone to that parking conference and talked to different suppliers, no one wanted to use cash. They did say that some places still will use coin, but they were like, no way on cash because of just how the machines,
Yeah.
they just break.
Yep.
Or whatever all the time is what it sounded like. And whenever we were getting it out, we had a lot of people not really interested in doing cash, but it was important for,
So we would just turn off that function.
yeah, a plate would go over it.
And then you would, yeah, they wouldn't be
Yeah,
losing money by it.
yeah, it would be the same machine. It just wouldn't have the function of cash and coin, which I hopefully would keep them.
It seems like it's almost impossible to use a vending machine anymore,
Yeah,
right?
mhm,
You know, dollar bills or,
yeah,
won't read it.
yeah,
It's not worth the effort.
yeah. So that's been always parking. Fun. Yeah, so that was just all I wanted to add on the parking. And then the last thing I had, so we have plenty of time to talk about whatever, because I didn't realize that these 2 topics would go by so quickly. So the property, not this one, let me see now. Did I include both of them in here? Yeah, What's the address? 627 Seventh Avenue. So this is where the real estate office is. Let's just put the mural in. I've been working with her on doing a facade grant. And whenever she'd contacted us about doing that, I was like, well, I'd really like to get design from the UNC Greensboro for that whole building, since it's got that whole awning across. And so I'm bringing this to y'all just to kind of look at, with the holidays and everything. I haven't been able to get with Judy to help her with how the application would be put together. She's gotten some quotes for it. And she wasn't available to come to this meeting today, so she's going to come to the board meeting next week for the official facade grant request. But I wanted to just share our most recent UNC Greensboro. So they did for their individual building at 627, and then the first one in the document was for the whole building. And just for new folks, so with being in the Main Street, North Carolina Main Street program, they provide a service with UNC Greensboro's architecture program to do free renderings and design work for buildings. It's just, spec work. They don't, and it's got to be for buildings that are interested in actually proceeding with doing it. And they don't do actual engineered architectural drawings. They just do renderings. But it's a nice service that they provide to give you an idea of what a next step would be. And we've done several that have been successful from having those designs. And so for that one, and she can talk about it when she's here next week, but what she's looking to do, so she's already got it painted there, but changing her door here. So, currently it's like this with the door, but this would really open up that space and make it look a whole lot nicer there. And whenever she approached me before, I had, that's when I talked with the landlord about, that whole building. He's probably not going to be a landlord that's going to be putting money into a space. It was not the vibe that I got. It might be more of a tenant thing. But the next step would be talking to the other tenants on if they would be interested. So I told Judy let's look at just the storefront now, because the awning would be a little bit of a different beast.
If you could, I just trying to see both the old and the new.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Old and both. So there would be a widening. I mean, there'd be some removal of brick to essentially double the width of that opening.
Mhm.
Can I
Would that be
clarify?
an issue? I mean, are these registered?
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, not that far down.
If I missed something, and you said this is 627,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so all the property notes here say that's 641.
Oh, so there's two of them in this document, so you might need to go a few pages. Yeah, go to the second one. Sorry, I put them in the wrong order.
Is this going to be a facade grant proposal?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Phil, there's two of them in there, one for the rest of the building and one for the 627, and I did not put them in the correct order. So I don't have much to be reviewed.
Is this going to be a grant proposal soon?
Yeah, it'll come next week because she wasn't available to be here today. And I've kind of been, because it took so long to get the design proposal from UNC Greensboro, I kind of had it caused some delays with that. Did you find it, Phil? Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm old. Well,
For the newcomers here, though, there's a facade grant that the downtown MSD has control over, and I think it's
There we
15,000 right now.
all right, where's that to go?
And anybody can propose
That's
work done to their building for
No.
historical preservation, facade improvements and that sort of thing.
How many per calendar year?
However long the budget lasts, so it's kind of first come, first served. And I think this is the first one we've had for this year, but this is indicated that the next meeting, there'll be a grant proposal. And it'll come to this board, they'll say, here's the work that we're trying to do, and then it'll be up to us to approve or deny based on the parameters of.
So
the
this
grant.
is 1, 2, 3.
But we're down for spending money making Seventh Avenue and Main Street look nicer.
I know. Yeah,
That's the goal.
But not the whole building, just one.
Yeah, a little bit.
That small.
Yeah.
And that's the type of thing that we're looking for.
You don't start construction of the road is.
Locust,
Jamie,
No.
water stuff,
oh,
Yeah.
that's gonna be going on probably the rest. Hopefully they finish before summertime. I think their goal is the water reconstruction.
Yes, that trains.
You know, the goal, finishing that.
No, I'm not sure.
Say they want to be done with summer. That was what I heard last year. I haven't checked.
Yeah, it was about a year-long project with that. Yeah, so what they're gonna come and she'll have a full application for it would be just for the storefront on 627. And that's what we've done in the past with storefronts like, Underground Baking did 2 separate storefront applications because it was 2 different addresses on that. So for them to be able to maximize it for that building, it would be as an individual storefront.
And last year we approved, what was it? Champa's thing? Somebody redid their facade.
I think we gave a grant for that one. Gosh, now I can't even think of.
Somebody had a decent one last year and it was easy.
We did, the repointing of the brick on Wine Sage Gourmet.
Mhm.
There was another one.
Yeah, like mason work.
Yeah,
Those on the Seventh Avenue, the new restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
that's right. That was it.
Chicken Shack, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is just as we have funds that are available. And
be a Mexican restaurant.
They're changing it already? What?
yeah, so just kind of, this will be coming soon, hopefully next week on that. I just, I wanted to get with her on the actual application because it's a little bit of a complicated one, but she did have some quotes from Dunlap.
CG owns that whole building,
No,
renting it.
no, UNC Greensboro is who does the design. But one person does own that whole building. And so it's leased out. So it's the real estate office and then it's that new Botanica.
Mhm.
And then it's not a public use in that next one. And then
Salon,
the dog.
yeah, dog grooming.
Yeah. Mhm. And then there's some uses in the back too. He showed me around the whole space because I hadn't been inside all that before. Yeah, but it was also a property owner who was like, the more money that goes into my building, the more taxes I'll have to pay. But he was open to it because he had graduated from UNC Greensboro, so that was a little bit of an in on that.
Whatever it takes.
So anyway, just wanted to show that as a heads up on that.
They're coming on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Next month.
yeah, it just, the schedule didn't work out. That's really all I have.
We have any idea how fast these are gonna domino?
No, because I don't know that the other ones are gonna be ready to invest in it. So that's why I told her just to do the storefront and not the awning, which I was surprised that they had the awning stay as one big awning.
Mhm.
That didn't make sense to me, why they did that design. I think it would be better to have them as individual awnings with like a gap in between, yeah. And she actually did get a quote for the awning. So her quote for the awning was, there's one for 12,800 and one for 16,000. And then her quote for the storefront was 41,000. So our facade grant would not be
Yeah,
a big big impact on that. But it would be nice to make that space look a lot better. Yeah, but I'm gonna meet with her this week. She was just had scheduling problems.
Got through that pretty quickly.
Just kind of a update on the design standards that are in the downtown master plan. We've met with, me and the planning department have all met to kind of devise our plan to develop, to put the plan into place. And so we've got, it's been a while since I've looked at it, so I don't have that right in front of me because I didn't think we'd have time to talk about it today. But that's probably gonna be coming here as far as the next steps here in the next couple of meetings, because it'll be the design overlay for 7th Avenue and design overlay or design standards for Main Street that's kind of outside of the historic district, because the historic district's already kind of has that qualification, particularly South Main Street.
See a hand.
Oh, hey, John.
Yeah, hey, what is the rationale between thinking that it would be better to have two separate awnings rather than just one?
I would personally think it would help make it look like more individual storefronts than just one big awning. But I'm not sure why they proposed it to be one long awning.
I mean, functionally, it would seem to be better to be one awning.
I guess.
Put a building on it. That's our own
Yeah,
property.
You're going from store to store, you mean up and down the sidewalk?
yeah.
It'd be easier to make it little bite-sized awning chunks,
Yeah, the cost would,
maybe.
the one time, the initial cost,
Yeah.
which I guess, Phil, do those type of awnings, would they, like, if you put one in, would you be able to add another one next to it, or would they have a gap in them?
Oh,
There's no gap.
but that's the only.
But like if someone installed one and then the next business is installed another.
So the frame is, whatever they want to do, and it's single unit, 12 feet or
Mhm.
whatever that is, and then they just bolt together. And they just run them down, and the canvas is,
Oh, yeah, that's.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are like, they're, that's all stuff like.
Yeah, we've.
I don't know that. I mean, other than, a one-time investment,
Mhm.
there probably isn't much
Advantage.
in the way of savings. But there would be some.
To do it all as
You
one.
do it all.
Yeah.
Right, otherwise, they have to anchor, and then stop, and then they've got to set a new anchor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just nickels and dimes.
and I don't think that it's gonna be an attainable thing to get it to be fully across awning for that whole length. Anyway, because it's gonna be
$41,000.
16. But then, like, if she's a real estate office, this plant store, I don't think it's gonna be, because it's gonna be, that would probably be 20 plus
Yeah.
for the one at the plants, because it's such a wider width of awning. Like, if this store did it, they would be on the hook for a much more expensive
Well,
portion of it, for much more length.
do we know what that is?
Length,
I can tell you,
I'm sure it's in here, but
it's,
I'll have it in front.
it's not pretty good. Okay, here we are. 12, 13, 13. 26, well, actually. I mean, mine's 40,
Well, 15, 15,
right?
yeah, that's 42.
That's basically just a little bit longer.
Mhm.
And I can tell you, I didn't pay anywhere close to $16,000.
Is yours one like this? Or is yours a fabric? Yours is one like this? Feel like they're what that they're looking at. I'm trying to picture yours in my head
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, Miller did mine, but it's just a, tubular frame canvas.
Oh, so yours is
This
canvas.
is like a black.
Okay.
That looks like the same one on.
Yes, that's like
Yeah,
yours that we put on like that.
They're
That's what
different.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yours is a canvas.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that might also be something whenever we talk with them next week on if, just because these designs have this expensive aluminum one, a canvas one could be an option to,
Big difference. I mean,
oh, the cost is a crazy difference, yeah,
mine was 7,000.
yeah. Yeah,
Have you heard of any other interest in the facade grants this year?
I had,
Proposals?
a while ago, I'd had some people asking about them. But, and I sent them all the information. It was, like Emma's Fade Boutique had asked.
Same thing happened to executive auto detail, Aaron, last year. He like repaved his thing and started to apply and then like didn't and then never happened. And then I just saw him out there doing it himself.
Oh, yeah, I believe I remember sending him some stuff about it too, and just,
Him last year.
yeah, like that, there's only so much, like, we're giving away money, so I don't wanna like
Yeah.
chase people down too much,
And it's his prerogative, yeah.
give them $6,000 to do something. But yeah, so there's that. And like I said, the design standards will be coming soon. I think the first step that they're having to do is talk with the city attorney, just following that, because all of the changes that we talked about before, I can't remember what was about, what was regarding, oh, it was about the Locust Street, where Southern App is, about the changes of state laws with zoning requirements. And so then they're trying to figure out if putting a design overlay creates that whole state law problem that requires everyone to give written consent to be included on it, which defeats the purpose of doing it. Okay.
So the breakfast meeting, what's our goal there? Do we want to just kind of communicate the expectations of the city to business owners?
Really, for my goal would be for particularly new business owners, but any of them, just to have that chance to hear from the different community partners that we've got, Chamber, TDA, like what resources are available to you for free, Small Business Center. And then to have that panel of the downtown businesses to say, like, what's worked for me, what works for you from being a part of the board.
Is there anything the city wants to communicate that you maybe haven't or had trouble with in the past year or two? Businesses or business, anything like that?
I'll have to think on that. I'll think about that and get with the handful of people that might be on the panel, because we'll want to create some, like, have planned questions.
You can go in and,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
talk about my experience or whatever, but if you
Yeah.
have like a goal of like, I want everybody to do this, like, tell me that and I can help you with that too.
Okay, that's a good question, but I'll have to think about the
Is our
answer.
goal to listen and hear what people want, or is our goal to communicate and here's the channel for where you.
Communicate. I don't think we don't want it to turn into a
Yeah.
room full of people complaining about stuff.
Gotcha.
Because that's just, we want to start like,
You can do that anytime, yeah.
yeah, and that just starts it off, like, just having people just understand what's available. So then that way they know
Okay.
what's there. As far as resources, especially, and like the Small Business Center
Yeah.
has so many free resources.
I think what you and I talked about is that we have these resources as businesses, but then like at Christmas time, the TDA did that fair and put it out, which was all well and good, but we heard from people that came to our store that, you know, they came to town with their kids and most of the stores that were on that list weren't even open.
Mhm.
So that makes it bad for everybody. So
Mhm.
I think when the TDA, I can't remember his name, came by and I told him, I said, the businesses that want these free advertising or opportunities should be forced to, if you want this advertising opportunity, then you need to stay open. Cause it makes it bad for us that are staying open, because there was only like 3 of us that was.
Yeah, even if it's just for those specific holidays.
Exactly. I mean, you got all these people downtown and you're closed. I mean, and then you complain because your business numbers are down. I don't get it.
Yeah, and that was part of the thing that really kind of started me wanting to do this, because I was like, they can't hear it from me. I don't have a business, so like, I'm not having to work. I'm working, but I'm not working in my business.
Mhm.
And so you don't know what you're saying on these extra hours, but to hear it from other businesses, especially like you to be able to say like, these
I'd like to
nights.
go home at 5 o'clock too, but
Yeah, and just for 3 nights out of the year.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Or there's a disconnect there that.
Yes.
It's a communication thing. It's like, if you want to just do the routine and do the thing all the time, then
Sure.
then the city won't do the Christmas tree lighting at night. Then
Yeah.
your time's better spent elsewhere.
Yeah, so
A lot of money being spent to, you know, bring people in and then we're not open. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah, so yes, yeah, so it's more of like
What would be more effective?
we've got this that we're providing as a way to, because we, you know, if we hear that, you know, sales are low or
It's a good idea.
their businesses, what can we do to encourage that? But there is there is definitely a disconnect on the hours. This is for Main Street in particular.
So that's my spot on the panel,
Mhm. About
Oh.
nightlife.
because I'm so apt to do it anyway.
Mhm.
Tell them that it's their obligation.
Yep.
And their responsibility as a business on Main Street
Mhm.
to be open when the city extends its resources and costs to provide for supporting that business.
I think it should be an agreement. I think if they're putting their name on a map or on whatever that's free to them, they need to sign an agreement. Or you can't play this time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just, yeah, yeah, and I think if we can't, hopefully some of the people come, that's gonna be the other part.
the ones that need
to-
to.
And
I definitely, couldn't name names, but there's a few business owners where if you put an ultimatum in front of them, they're like, cool, I'm out later.
How are we?
No thanks.
Yeah, well,
How are we inviting, and I mean, let's talk about the audience for a bit.
Yeah,
We need to make sure we fill. the
Yeah.
seats.
so, like I said, I'm gonna make the registration live tomorrow. And then we do a door to door. Nancy's helping me out, dropping stuff off door to door for businesses that has all the things about the hours and street closures and all of that. But I think for this one, it's just giving them that and nothing else. Like, so that way they're not getting too much information of the invitation for the breakfast. And then I'm gonna look at that registration list. And I'm gonna look at my list that I made when I walked up and down the street and nobody was open.
You're naughty.
And I'm gonna go talk to them.
no, that's.
And-
And y'all, yeah,
I'm careful about this next question, because I don't turn into some open forum.
Yeah.
But like, do you think candidates for office might want to be there? It makes sense, either existing office holders or those who want to be office holders. Would that make any sense?
I don't know if that makes any
Okay,
difference one way or the other, because I think this is, what I'm trying to equate this to is we'd gone to a chamber small business panel. And, most of the things at the chamber aren't like downtown businesses. But they had a panel of experienced business owners who just kind of told a little bit of their story. And then, in my mind, that gives insight. Like if I were the business owner, like, oh, this might be a different way of thinking about things. Because I think about whenever we're in our board and committee meetings, and there's such good insight from the board and committee members on like being an entrepreneur
What you should
and the risks or rewards that it takes from it, that it's your choice to do that, and it's your choice to take advantage of things or not.
Choice to make money or not.
Yeah,
I see a need for communicating just what the MSD is
Yeah,
and what it
mhm.
does. Because even as a business owner, being pretty active, I didn't
Yeah.
understand the full scope of
Yeah.
what you did. Or I'll meet some board members that are newer or not business owners, and they're like, how effective do you think these meetings really are?
yeah,
It's like, once you learn what the scope of the board actually is,
mhm,
you can, like, there's a lot that we can do, but no,
Yeah.
they don't really understand that.
yeah,
Or where the limits are, or what they can expect, or what you guys actually do,
I think that's good.
So just educating on what the MSD is, how the program started, and what they do in all cities in all North Carolina. Communicating that to the average business owner, I think would benefit the whole town.
Okay. I could do a very short thing on that, because I do think a lot of people don't understand.
They'll see you three and they'll be like, yeah, city people, I get it.
Yeah,
They don't know the actual program or like what you guys do.
yeah.
Do we, or did we need to take formal action on the recommendation of this?
No, because they're gonna have a full application form. I'm just gonna have to take it to the downtown board.
There's another hand.
That's- Oh, John, I'm sorry.
Sorry about
Go
that.
ahead.
Yeah, would there be any interest, do you think, or possibility would even be okayed to use parking vouchers of some kind where people actually stay open?
What do you mean?
A store that is going to stay open, we give them several parking vouchers that they could give to customers.
Yeah, we could. And I've given different businesses, ones who've come to me and said that they've had parking's ruining their life. I've given them like options of getting coupon codes for parking, and we've done like, and I'll do one again for this quarter of like a free parking, because there's lots of free parking vouchers for the people who take advantage of it.
So it could help.
But I mean, just as a carrot for them to keep their store open. If you don't stay open,
Yeah.
you're not going to get them.
That's a good idea.
Great incentive.
I feel like the incentive should be just wanting to do business.
Not that true.
Yeah,
You would think,
If that's
yeah.
not there,
yeah.
that's kind of their decision, and
Yeah, there's a few times where I've heard people like on the board, like I've talked to Caroline before, and this was a few years ago, but like she said that it is well worth it for me to have an extra employee to keep open for extra hours. It pays for itself, because I think for some of them, it's
a retail store doing to one, absolutely.
I've had that experience a little tiny
Mhm.
bit when we were organizing the cookie swap with Lana
Mhm.
on 7th Avenue. And and there's yes and no, and I understand, but it was difficult to just gather everyone
Mhm.
around an idea, and
Yeah.
So it's a challenge to get class participation.
Yeah.
Individual businesses.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, just to have like a once a year to where it becomes like an annual thing of like, you don't come or listen to anything else, you come to this breakfast once a
And
year.
we all want the board to be effective, and that could make it more effective, but also it's a two-way street. There's got to be some impetus on the business owner just to participate. It's just
Yeah.
what it means. If they don't want to, there's not much you can really do
Yeah,
to make them.
yeah, no, it's all,
It'd be more effective if they did.
I agree. You can't force people to make them stay open and make money for their business, but you also cannot put them on, like, I keep going back to the bear, but you can't be putting them on this program and have their names on there and then be handing it out. And the only way the family could win is if they got all the check marks. So they were never going to win. And that's the kind of anger that the families would come up to us, is like, we can't even win because these stores aren't even open. So I'm not sure you can force them to stay open, but you can say, well, if you're not open, then you can't participate in these programs.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, that you can.
Yeah, and I brought that up to, after you said that, I did bring that up to them as even like tree lighting
Yeah.
and old fashioned Christmas,
I know.
2 days
Yeah,
a year to be open 2 extra hours.
Not as much.
But even like, we wouldn't require that for Seventh Avenue
Oh.
businesses.
Trick or treat.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them don't zip.
But it
and-
shouldn't
It's not open on
Yeah,
trick or treat, I'm sorry.
it's a poor decision. That's a bad choice.
yeah, but yeah,
Because
It is a bad choice.
but ultimately, like we all said, it's their decision, but then I feel like if you're not taking full advantage of when you, as a business owner, can make money, then I don't want to hear about you getting bad sales
right.
because of something.
Or saying that their sales are down and all that.
I feel like our question is, how can we make this as effective as possible?
Yeah.
Incentivizing the business would, if everybody participated, it would be better for everybody.
Yeah,
If you can't make them, I don't really think it's worth our time to like try.
yeah, we don't have any ability to force, the peppermint bear is about to, we don't have any way to force anybody's hand on anything. And so that's where, like, I know we're kind of getting into the negative side, and I don't want it to.
Well, it would be
have
better if everyone
Yeah.
participated. So is there anything we could do to encourage that participation?
It
Maybe.
comes back, you're just not on the city advertising.
Yeah.
Just not.
It's done. If you
Right.
choose to not be open, then it's your choice, it's your business decision, but you're not on the city stuff.
Yeah.
Advertised.
I don't think we should burn calories trying to
No,
sit down.
no, but yeah, and yeah, we're kind of going sideways, because I think what I really, going back to kind of the goal of it, is to have, people who may not always come to our meetings or anything, come hear from the business owners, a handful of them, as like a little panel of just like,
Yes,
Even if it's just a-
participating. Yes, this is gonna
Yeah.
pay off and.
yeah, even if it's, like I said, just there once a year that they hear of what it is that we're doing
Mhm.
and nothing else, then that's.
I could even bring numbers of like during the parade.
Could help.
Fantastic.
I think that'd be great.
A Halloween, I could bring that.
Yeah.
And also for the tree lighting and all that.
I think that
So I
would,
think numbers.
Yeah.
People listen to more than
Yeah.
us saying you should stay open.
Yeah.
As I said, so,
I
yes,
saw people leaving your store with bags of purchases.
yeah,
yeah,
we did really well during those times.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I think it's a good idea regardless, however it goes, it's a good idea.
yeah.
Win.
Mhm.
Okay. That's all the business that we have on the agenda. Anybody would like to add anything, or we could move to adjourn 10 minutes early?
Did you have anything, you're just coming and listening to it? Okay.
This is Brett. Brett's running for city
Oh,
council.
yeah, I've met Brett
He
many.
used to work at White Duck. He's awesome.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
adjourn.
I got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming to the Economic Vitality meeting. We're adjourned.